Now we come to something called very interesting called aqua regia. Learn about aqua regia. Aqua regia. So what is aqua regia? Now aqua regia is a highly corrosive as well as fuming liquid. Very fuming. मतलब very strong liquid, very corrosive मतलब which can corrode things, corrode मतलब सड़ा डालेगा उसको, like an acid, no? If I throw the acid on your face, what will happen? It will just melt your face, it will corrode your face. So it's a very corrosive liquid, aqua regia, very interesting liquid. We'll learn about it. So what is aqua regia? Aqua regia is a freshly prepared mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid in the ratio 3:1. So how do you get aqua regia? By mixing hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. Huh? So if you take three, let's say for example, so ratio should be 3:1. That you remember. That if you take 3 liters of hydrochloric acid and 1 liter of nitric acid, you will get 4 liters of aqua regia. Understood? So why 3:1 ratio? No, so 3 liters of hydrochloric acid and 1 liter of nitric acid. If you mix, you will get 3 plus 1, 4 liters of aqua regia. Clear? So the ratio should be maintained, and it should be a freshly prepared mixture. Very important, freshly prepared. You cannot use a basi one, stale one. It is very important. It is one of the few reagents that is able to dissolve noble metals like gold and platinum. It is used. It is one of the few reagents, very few chemicals which are there in the world which can dissolve noble metals. Who are the noble metals? Gold and platinum. We know that gold and platinum does not get dissolved in any acid or any base or any liquid in this world, but aqua regia can even dissolve gold and platinum. Okay, aqua regia is such a corrosive liquid that it can dissolve even a noble metal like gold and platinum, which no acid in the world or no base in the world can dissolve gold and platinum. But aqua regia is such a corrosive liquid, such a fuming liquid, it can dissolve even gold and platinum. Now, very important, though concentrated HCl or HNO3 alone cannot dissolve gold and platinum. See, if you just put a noble metal like gold and platinum, if you take a gold and platinum metal and put it in the concentrated HCl or in concentrated nitric acid or concentrated hydrochloric acid, it will not dissolve. But when you mix both of them and then you put the gold or platinum, then it dissolves. See the power of two. Power of two. By itself, hydrochloric acid cannot dissolve gold and platinum. By itself, nitric acid cannot dissolve gold and platinum. But when I mix both of them in the ratio 3:1 and make aqua regia, it is able to dissolve gold and platinum. The power of two. दो का दम. अकेले में दम नहीं है, बस दोनों मिल गया तो सबका वाट लगा देगा. Okay, so that way. So I hope it is clear. Aqua regia, isn't it interesting? Very interesting, no? Very interesting. So we now move on to the next property of metals. Okay, next chemical property of metals. So what is the next property of metals? The reaction of metals with salts of other metals. Salts of other metals. So let's do a small activity. We'll see a small activity which is there in your textbook also. Take a clean iron nail and a clean copper wire. So just imagine, I can't show you. Just imagine that you have a clean iron nail, iron khilla, you know what you put in the wall, you know, for hanging things, and the clean copper wire. Let's say you have a clean copper wire. You have taken, remove the plastic insulation from the electrical wire, and you have a copper wire. Now take copper sulfate solution in test tube A. So in test tube A, what you have taken? Copper sulfate solution, and dip the iron nail in it. So what you have dipped in the copper sulfate solution? Iron nail. Now take ferrous sulfate solution in another test tube B and dip the copper wire in it. So in the ferrous sulfate solution in test tube B, you have dipped the copper wire and keep it for some time. Okay, keep it for some time and observe what happens after some time. So what do you think will happen? Any idea? Think. Okay, so I'll tell you the answer. So in test tube A, The grayish iron nail. So the iron nail we know, no? All metals I told you have a silvery gray luster. All metals they look silvery gray. So the iron nail, which is grayish in color, when you kept it in the copper sulfate solution, it turned reddish brown. Why did it turn reddish brown? Very important. What happened? And what happened to the copper sulfate? The blue color. The copper sulfate solution we know is blue color. No, it's blue. That's why copper sulfate. If you remember in your study in the 9th standard and acid, base, and salt chapter, copper sulfate is called blue vitriol. Why? Because it is bluish in color. And the blue color of the copper sulfate solution fades out. That means it becomes slightly pale greenish. Okay, now this is a displacement reaction. This is a displacement reaction. So we'll see why the iron nail, which was grayish in color, originally grayish in color, turned reddish brown when you kept in the copper sulfate solution for some time. That is in test tube A. Okay, because of this reaction, iron displaces copper. Iron is more reactive, so it displaces copper, which is less reactive, to form ferrous sulfate solution. That's a displacement reaction. So iron, which is highly reactive, displaces copper, which is less reactive, to form ferrous sulfate solution. And this copper gets deposited on the iron nail. So when the copper gets deposited on the iron nail, copper is what color? Copper has got what luster? Copper looks reddish in color, no? So that's why the iron nail becomes reddish brown. So it was gray in color because the copper deposit, iron displaced the copper. It removed the copper. And what happened to the copper? The copper went and settled or got deposited on the iron nail, and the color of the iron nail changes from gray to reddish brown. Why? Because the copper got deposited, and copper is reddish brown in color. And what happened? Why the blue color of the copper sulfate solution faded out? Faded out becomes halka light color because the copper sulfate solution has got changed to ferrous sulfate solution. It is no more copper sulfate. Now it has become ferrous sulfate. That's why the color changes of the copper sulfate solution from blue. The blue color became pale greenish. I told you, it becomes something like pale greenish yellow. So this is the reaction. So as you can see, the copper sulfate CuSO4 became FeSO4. No, Fe got Fe displaces copper to form ferrous sulfate and copper. Copper deposits on the iron nail and makes it look reddish brown, and the copper sulfate changes to ferrous sulfate, and that's why the color blue color becomes now pale green. Because why greenish color? Because ferrous sulfate, no? Ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate, remember last year we learned about ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate is called what vitriol? Green vitriol. And copper sulfate is called blue vitriol. So blue vitriol becomes green vitriol. That's why the blue color solution we learned here is follow the laser pointer. The blue color becomes greenish color. Becomes what color? Greenish color. I hope it is clear. What happens in test tube B? Simple. In test tube B, no reaction takes place. No reaction takes place. Why? Because test tube B, what did you do? You put a copper wire in what solution? Ferrous sulfate solution. You put a copper wire in ferrous sulfate solution. Ulta. We all have learned here. Look at the laser pointer. Iron is more reactive than copper because that's why iron displaced copper. No, iron is more reactive than copper. Yes or no? But here, what did you in test tube B? You put copper in iron sulfate. Now, copper, you put the copper solution in ferrous sulfate means what? Iron sulfate. You put copper in iron sulfate. So now copper cannot displace iron because copper is less reactive than iron. That's why in test tube B, no reaction takes place. Why? Because copper cannot displace iron because copper is very less reactive compared to iron. I hope it is clear. Okay. So in test tube there will be no reaction. Now if you really want to know which metals are how reactive and whether they are low reactive or medium reactive, you want to know about the reactive metals, reactivity of metals, you can refer the table on reactivity of metals on page number 97. So it will give you a fair idea of what it is. Okay. So I hope this is clear. This is also very interesting thing. So please learn the reactivity series of metals, which is given on page 97, because this kind of activity or no can come in the exam. In the board exam, always they usually ask you at least one or two activities. Okay. So be prepared, please learn.